Hello? Can anyone hear me? Is anyone even here? No? I think it's just me, actually. I'm just talking into nothing. Right. One person in this stream. Is that just me? Oh. Two people in the stream. Wow. No one's here. Can anyone hear me? It's just us, Bob. It's just you and me, I think. So I hope you're having a good day. Why so few people? Usually like 100 people jump in straight away. It's pretty weird. Sorry about that disgusting noise. If anyone else is in the stream, if you could, like drop a message in the chat. Because right now it looks like there are really few people. Is no one going to drop a message in the chat? Just Bob? Nathan. Or Nevin, sorry. Nevin. Hey, Nevin. Hope you're okay. Alright then. Well, I'm going to be honest. Yuri, hello. It's pretty weird. Usually more people come. Bob, Nevin, and Yuri. Is that everyone? Sorry, guys. I'm just going to... A few other people as well. Carlisle, Adamations, Light Darkness. Oh, there we go. People must have got the notification now. 28. That's a big number. Hey, everyone. That's more like it. Okay, 45. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Wow. Messages coming in left, right, and center. Hey. Okay. Yep. I see the notification just came through. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming. Yeah, we're doing a live stream. So I'd just like to say hello to everyone. I think we'll leave it another minute or two before we start. Annalene, the one from Germany. It's 1 a.m. It's midnight here, but good thing you're still awake. Right then. Okay, a fair few of you have now joined. I'm really happy that you've all joined. So thank you everyone for coming. So, how did you meet Raven Reed? I just put the competition information out and she messaged me. I haven't actually met her, but we've spoken on email and stuff. Tara, hey, and Liam. Oh, Zombie Mama, thank you for your donation. All right. It's very kind of you. Right, okay. Wow. Okay, good. Got about 100 people here. Hello, the Dark Narrator. It looks like you're in the lead. All right, then. So just to give you a quick heads up, we're going to do a bit of Q&A towards the end. Like I said at the start, right now, I'm going to focus on reading the first book chapter. So I'm just going to explain this really quick in case you guys aren't aware. So there's this website called Forge Fiction. Yeah, Forge Fiction. And they reached out to me so that I could write a little book summary, basically. And introduce it to you guys and see if anyone wanted to pitch in with me and write it, which is pretty cool, I thought. You see, I'm not the best writer. I just thought it'd be a really interesting thing to do. And loads of you guys have actually gone over there and submitted chapters for books. Well, for the book I'm writing. Chapter 1 has already been submitted and gone through. And now it's time for chapter 2. Excuse me, right. Yeah, in 8 hours, everyone's going to be able to vote. So, let me know. Right, I don't know how many of you have actually gone and read chapter 1, but would anyone like me to... So I'm thinking of reading either a few chapter 2 submissions or just chapter 1. can you let me know if you just want chapter 2 or chapter 1, and then a few chapter 2s for you to decide? And if you want to write anything, check it out. I'll put it on. I'll actually put it right there in the thing. Right there you go. There's chapter 1. Well, there's chapter 1, chapter 1. Okay. There's the book if you want to check it out. And I do have Instagram. Raven Reads. It's Mortis Media, unsurprisingly. 1 and 2. Okay, great. All right then. Please give her, the Sonja Watson, a big shout out. Big shout out to Sonia Watson. I'm going to assume I said that right. All right then. So right after this, I'm going to be launching some stalker stories, which will be pretty fun if you're up for that. So I'm going to start reading. So bear in mind, as I'm reading, I'm not going to be able to read your comments. So, sorry. Oh, Insane Taria, thank you so much for your donation. It's very kind of you. And Sheena Jones, happy birthday. Mandy Mortem, I will be doing more poop videos soon. Don't worry, I just need a few more. And hello, Amma Blake Rose. All right then, I'm going to start now. So, questions at the end, and I'm going to start with chapter 1. Please take a listen and let me know what you think, of course. And yeah, it would just really help. So this one's by J.C. Phelps. Val limped her way through London streets. No one noticed her. No one noticed the bruises or the scrapes on her face. And certainly, no one noticed the blood dripping from her injured leg. Her long black overcoat hid the majority of her injuries, but nothing hid the trail of blood she was leaving behind. Though she limped, she did not falter in her purposeful stride. She found that keeping up a brisk pace in the city helped maintain her anonymity. The sunlight was slipping fast. Not that the sun was offering much in the way of light through the veil of slate clouds and smog, shrouding the city. Val didn't mind. She did her best work after dark, but she needed a safe place right now. She was hurt, and she needed to recharge her batteries and assess damages. Her destination was as grey and dingy as the city sky. Mitten's Diner was a place most people slipped past. The rundown building, failing neon lights, and discoloured sign implied bad atmosphere, bad food, and bad service. And the implications were generally right. Mittens held a special place in Val's heart. She'd grown used to eating their bad food, drinking in the bad atmosphere and service. It wasn't really all that bad. She stopped outside just long enough to take in the comforting feeling of being safe. The building was amongst the oldest in the city. It had been built with wards against most of the bad elements found throughout the world, making it one of the safest places for her and her lifestyle. That's why she'd rented a flat above the diner years ago. She prayed gentrification wouldn't be coming to this neighborhood anytime soon. As soon as Val crossed the threshold, her tension eased a bit. She took her usual seat in the back of the diner. Even though she felt safe in the building, she still liked to keep her back to the wall and watch through the tinted windows at the passers-by. She'd left a nice trail of blood for whatever might be tracking her, if something was tracking her. Sue, the night waitress, immediately brought over a steaming cup of coffee and went back to the counter without a word. Val cupped the mug with both hands and brought it to her face to breathe in the heavenly aroma. She only managed a few sips of the brew before Sue returned with a stack of pancakes, heaped with butter, and a little tin carafe filled with maple syrup. Val didn't waste any time drenching the cakes with the syrup and shoveling a huge bite into her mouth. "Won't talk about it, hon?" Sue asked. "Can't. Val mouthed through a mouthful of pancake. Someone always asked her what she'd been up to when she came to the diner, all mused up. But Val never confided in them. She figured they might actually believe her, but she wasn't ready to take that risk. This city held enough people with delusions. She didn't want another to put on her list. But this time Val wasn't holding back. She truly couldn't remember. She only had brief flashes of memory littering her mind. Sue nodded and walked away to refill the cups of the two other customers who sat at the counter. Val watched the crowd outside as they paraded past her window. The passing bodies were starting to thin out, and none of them seemed to take notice of the blood trails she'd so generously left behind. She didn't know if she preferred it that way, or if she'd rather see her attacker. She'd woken up in a grave inside Highgate Cemetery. It's a wonder that no one saw her there. She'd no recollection of going into the cemetery. It was a tourist trap, and not a place to go hunting. She was out of sorts when she woke. She didn't even think to look at the gravesite she'd been resting on. That was something she'd been stewing over for most of her walk back to Mittens. If only she'd paid attention to it, it might have given her a clue as to what she was doing there. A twinge of pain coursed through her leg and made her almost choke on another huge mouthful of food. She instinctively reached down and clutched at the wound. This only served to induce another wave of pain, worse than the first twinge. She thought she felt something inside the wound, and Val fought to keep her fingers out of the gash and shoveled her pancakes down. Her leg was hot, and it felt swollen. This could mean something venomous, and that meant she had to inspect it as soon as possible. She peeked at it in between bites, and was only rewarded with bloody hands and no real idea of the extent of the damage. She wiped her hands on some napkins and scooped the remainder of her cakes into her mouth, shoveled the bloody napkins into her pocket, and left enough money on the table to cover the bill and a thorough tip. She then hobbled her way up to her flat. The few minutes of inactivity as she sat eating, she had stiffened her leg considerably, so the stairs to her flat were a challenge. She managed the trek, but not without breaking into a cold sweat, as she accidentally led up with the busted leg. Inside her apartment, she immediately stripped off her black coat and tossed it on the couch. The sight of blood stained on her jeans and a clear liquid draining onto the floor brought with it a flash of memory. Her mind pulled her back to the moment she woke up and amplified everything around her. A minty smell filled her nostrils, and then she felt a persistent sting in her leg. Val opened her eyes and took in the vegetation and the tombstones. She sat up quickly and inspected her leg. There was a small gash in her jean that was outlined in blood. Off to her left, she heard a loud rustling, but was too groggy to try and see what was hurrying away. Instead, her mind went to the more immediate sensation of pain. She prodded at the gash, and a hot, clear liquid oozed out of her leg and onto her pants. Her senses were still dull, but she knew she had to go home. Val snapped back to the present and tried to pull off her jeans. It was no use. The leg had swollen to fill her pants so completely that they were tighter than a wet swimsuit. She hobbled into her kitchen and dug around in her drawers until she found her scissors. Starting at the waistband, she cut down her pants until she neared the gash. The cold metal of the scissors and the pressure caused a rush of fluid to splatter onto the floor. The pain of it made her lightheaded, but the now familiar minty smell wafted up to her and brought her back fully. Val thanked the powers that be that it didn't smell as bad as it looked. She had no idea what had attacked her, but she did have an inkling that the hospital would have no cure for what ailed her. She managed to finish cutting down the pant leg and slipped out of her jeans. A folded piece of paper fell from her laceration and hit the floor with a wet sound. Val bent over to retrieve it and ended up on the floor with paper in her hands. The paper in her hands. The room was spinning now, but she focused on opening the paper. It was a note and simply read, "Squeeze the leg until the liquid is no longer clear. Get a couple of days rest, and you should be just fine." And there you have it, everyone. That was chapter 1. Oh my goodness. A $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Matthew Bauer. I want to show you my appreciation. You're very nice and truly deserve this. Well, thank you. That's incredibly kind of you. I just want to make sure I haven't missed another one. Oh, here's one. Jack Smith, you're the best. Thank you so much, Jack. Very kind of you. Micros, thank you so much also to you for your very kind donation. And Insane Terrier, oh, okay. I think I'm caught up. Right then, I'm back. Okay. Dennis, how are you doing today? Such a great read. Great story, Mortis. Hi, Mort. Google took over 30% of that donation. Well, you know, it's the way YouTube works. But it's fine. Without YouTube, I wouldn't even be here. So I'm grateful that it even works that way. But thank you, everyone. Please tell me what you thought of part 1. Did you like the story? Did you enjoy it? Feel free to let me know in the little chat. That'd be really, really nice. Chapter 1 is genius. Love it. Thank you, Raven. How do you reply to people? I have no clue. What? Enjoyed it. Interesting. I'm intrigued. I believe in magic. I believe in magic. I enjoy listening to the ritual stories. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Chapter 1 was awesome. That was great and very interesting. Oh, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, guys. Well, that's chapter 1. I really liked that one as well. I think I really enjoyed most of them, to be honest. But that one won, and that was really good. Thanks for the stories. Great to see. Thank you, Berenice. Very kind of you. The story was really good. I was forgetting to chat. Thank you, Matthew, again for the super chat. That was really nice of you. Well, I'm really glad that you liked chapter 1. Oh, thank you, guys. So chapter 2, there's several submissions. 5. I won't have time to read them all, of course. Let's see, chapter 2. So I think it makes sense to read the one by the same author and then maybe another one. So if it's cool with you guys, I'm just going to start on chapter 2. I'm just going to check the chat now. Okay, all right. Chapter 2. So remember, I can't read all the chapters because there's not enough time in the live stream. But please, when you're done here or another day when you've got time, please check out the website. The voting will start in about 8 hours, and there's 5 different chapters. I think you've got about 2 days to vote. So, have a read through some of those, vote for the one you liked most, because I can't read all of them. But yeah, I think it's just something really fun. And, this book will be built up. And if you want to contribute, if you want to write a chapter, and we'll just see how the story goes. I think it's a lot of fun. And if you guys like these live streams where I read them, maybe we'll do them more often, maybe longer as well, so I can try and read all of them. All right, chapter 2. Again by J.C. Phelps. Val fought with sorry. Val fought with the darkness on the edge of her vision. She could not pass out, not yet. She forced herself up off the floor and dragged the offending leg towards the bathroom. With every passing second, the leg continued to swell. Now that the inflammation had moved to encompass her knee, the leg had become an immobile dead weight. The bathroom was a tight space, with little room between the commode? I hope I said that right. Between the commode and the iron tub, with a porcelain interior. Lifting her leg with both hands, she steered it towards the bathtub, but only managed to bang it on the toilet. After she fought down the urge to throw up her pancake dinner, she tried again. This time she slammed it on the tub. Thankfully the leg was already inside, when her knee from the uninjured leg buckled. She toppled forward, head barely missing the faucet, and cracked into the porcelain instead. Val managed to stay conscious, but only just. She concentrated on her breathing. In, out, in, out. Nice, deep, rhythmic breaths. When she became aware of the cold porcelain on her cheek and the discomfort of being in a disoriented position, she tried to right herself. Her darkened vision started to lighten, but it wasn't until the sparkles inside of the fog of her sight dissipated. That was a mouthful. She was able to get situated inside of the bathtub. She continued her rhythmic breathing as she looked down at her leg. It was a monstrosity now. The top half almost looked as if it belonged to an elephant, but only if the elephant was pink and its leg was an angry red from the gnash running across it. Still, her calf remained normal, causing it to look even more distorted. Slowly at first, she pushed down on the leg. The watery liquid immediately sprayed forth, following by the now familiar minty smell that permeated the entire room. With every massaging motion, her vision blurred or darkened, and she had to take a moment to catch her breath, focus, and stay awake. It took her about an hour, but she managed to get ahead of the swelling. Her leg was back to its usual size and shape before the clear liquid followed from it. Before the clear liquid flowing from it became a light pink. And finally, the thicker red blood that she hoped to see. She awoke sometime later, sitting in a cold pool of pinkish liquid. Her brain was still a bit foggy, but the memory came back quickly. She moved to let the fluid down and drain, and caught her shoulder on the faucet. Damn it, she swore. Val inspected her shoulder to find nothing but a red mark where she'd scraped it across the tap. Then it occurred to her that her leg didn't hurt anymore. Of course, there was a stinging sensation from where the gash was, but it wasn't throbbing or aching the way it had been. She investigated the injury and found that it was already healing nicely. The note she'd found entered her mind again, and she realized she knew who'd written it. She thought she recognized the handwriting now that her muddled brain started to work again. Besides, who else would help her, but still leave her for dead? He was a major pain in her ass, and now she was pissed off. First of all, she didn't want to be saved by him. He already thought he was God's gift, but now there would be no dealing with him. Val fumed as she removed her shirt, bra, and panties. She turned on the water, intending to soak in a hot bath and mull over what she could remember. As soon as the hot water touched the wound, she decided against the bath and opted for a shower instead. When she was cleaned up, she stepped out of the tub and wiped the condensation from her bathroom mirror. Her scrapes and bruises on her face were barely noticeable now. Whatever he'd done had worked for more than just her leg. She had to admit, this kind of healing power could come in handy at times. Val spent the better part of half an hour cleaning up the mess she'd made when she first came to her flat. Not until she'd finished did she let herself look at the note again. In her heart, she knew who'd helped her. But the indignation she felt because of it made her hope she was wrong. Inspecting the note once again only served to confirm her suspicions. She'd missed the signature before, but there it was in bright blue ink. Not a smudge on that part of the note. It read, Beck. That was short for Beckett Beckham. Such a pretentious name, Val thought. At least he was easy to look at, even if he did have an ugly scar on his cheek. He'd never told her that story. He'd never told her anything, except how to do her job. Val admitted to herself for only a second that Beck's story was probably an interesting one, but she'd never ask. And if he offered it up, she might not listen. Sorry. But she'd never ask. And if he offered it up, she might not listen. Just as a matter of principle. Beck had done nothing but try to show her up. Sorry. It's just the characters really making me laugh. Beck had done nothing but try to show her up and steal jobs from her. He'd probably stolen whatever she'd been hunting last night and already collected the bounty. Sunlight started to stream in through her windows as she pondered Beck's involvement and what she'd been doing. Her inability to remember exactly what happened, what she'd been doing, was starting to become alarming. Val considered getting some rest. She even went as far as to get her favorite nightclothes on and turned down the bed covers before there was a firm knock at her door. Damn it, she said again. Her door didn't have a peephole, so her only options were to ignore the knock or open the door to see who it was. She opted to open the door. On the other side of the threshold stood Beck, in all his stupid glory. He wore a similar black jacket to Val's, and his clothes underneath it were covered in some kind of filth. He'd been scowling, but as soon as the door opened, he put on his most welcoming smile. "Hey there. How's the leg?" he asked. "What do you want?" Val replied, with as little enthusiasm as she could. And there we have it. That was chapter 2. That's all that there is right now. I hope you guys liked it as well. Gives us a bit more direction as to how the story's going to go. So let me know, what did you think of chapter 2? Val is my spirit animal. Oh. Thanks, guys. Glad you like it. I don't actually have the time to read the next potential chapter 2 as well. So I'm going to leave that down to you. I'm going to just post the link one more time in, there you go, there's the link. So there's other chapter 2s, and you'll be able to vote if, on which chapter 2 you'd like, really. It was hard to understand in my opinion. Oh, I'm sorry. Back cottage? Anyway. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it in general. So there's the link. It'd be cool. I'll leave it in the description of every video, I think. Every video I do lately, for you to check out if you want to do that. But yeah, I find the character very funny. Okay then. Well, I think I'm going to end it in about 15 minutes because tonight's video hasn't been uploaded, and I need to upload it. So it's ready for 1 a.m. my time. So whenever it's, whatever time it is for you. Basically, it's got to be ready in half an hour. That's my deadline. So I'm just going to take questions now from Team Marine. What got you into scary stories? So this is a question I've answered a few times, but I'll say it again. Basically, I've always liked scary stories. My favorite book growing up was this book all about UFOs, ghosts, and unexplainable phenomenon like spontaneous human combustion and stuff. And that it just captivated me. I read the book from front to back over and over and over and over again. And it always helped that we live really close to the most haunted village in England, which we went to see a few times, even though we didn't see anything. So I've always been into horror and all things scary. And then one day, years ago, like this might be like 4 or 5 years ago now, Rob Dyke did that competition where it's you want to be a YouTuber, and I did want to be a YouTuber. I've been wanting to be a YouTuber since about 2009 or 2010. I always really wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know how. Like in 2010, I got my favorite clips of Robot Chicken and made like mini episodes of my favorite skits because it's like a skit show, isn't it? And I put it on YouTube, and it was quickly like taken down because it was copyright stuff, which was fine. But I never thought of something I wanted to do. But when Rob Dyke did that competition, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do something cool, something scary. So I did with my friends. We made a short film. It was my first ever video, and it was okay. But we lost to Kaylee Elise, and I mean everyone did. But she's a great creator, so that's cool. And yeah, and then after that, because it was originally a channel focused on making like scary videos, not so much stories. I was like, okay, well, what's our next one going to be? And they're like, oh, we're busy, we won't be able to do it. And my friends kind of bailed out, and my friend Daniel, it was actually his birthday today. He said, oh, well, I don't have the time anymore, and because he was the cameraman, because he's a photographer, so he had all these skills, he couldn't help anymore, which was a shame. So from then I thought, well, what am I going to do with the channel, because I don't want to let it die. So I just tried scary stories, and it worked, and I really liked them, and it's been great, and that's what got me into it. So that's the story, Team Marine. So the Reaper. What is your favorite cryptid and why? Mine personally is Goatman or Mothman. Mine is Skinwalkers, because I find them incredibly fascinating, and I don't know that much about them, and they're just my favorite stories. Are you still posting tonight or nah? Hannah, I am. Let's see. Right. Oh, goodness. So many questions. Okay. Okay, not that many. Okay. Please do more live streams. I'll try. When we know who won the competition, I think I'll announce it in tomorrow's video. Do you like the woods more? I do. I love the woods. Creativity is thumbs up. Robot Chicken is still funny. I know, I still like it. I haven't seen it in a long time though. What scares you the most? What scares me the most is losing a member of my family. I think that's the scariest thing. I don't think there's anything more scary, really. Probably to most people. What are some of the other things you like to do? I love going to the cinema. Not that it's just hard because we have to go to a baby-friendly screening, and those are only on certain times, on certain days, and if something else is going on, then we can't go. And I really want to see Infinity War on the day it comes out, but we probably won't be able to. So yeah, I'm gonna have to avoid the internet after that, because everyone's going to be going into meltdown. I also like poi, which is like a New Zealand thing. It's a bit hard to describe. It's like balls on ropes, and you like swing them around, but there can be lights as well. Just look it up, poi, P-O-I. I like doing that sometimes too, and playing the piano and stuff. I like a book as a youngster called Magic and Superstition. It had some interesting information about the subject. I think mine was a bit different. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe I'll find it and share it in another video. I'd have to go back to my parents' house to find it though. but it was a really good book. Has anyone seen The Wizard of Oz? That movie is creepy scene where it looks like human actually commits suicide in an old movie. Oh, is that the thing where one of the actors was like hanging in the background? I've never seen that. Maybe I should actually look for that. Okay, my lovelies, I have to go. Be an adult. Oh, okay. Oh, Eva, she's probably gone already. Burnt Offerings is the most terrifying film I've ever seen. After viewing it a month later, I still can't sleep properly. Maybe I shouldn't watch it then. But it does sound interesting. I remember when I was younger, my cousin Ian, he put on See No Evil, and I was about maybe 12 or something. And I think it really messed me up. This lady and this guy, like, they take out people's eyes, and I found it really creepy. Don't watch it if you're not a fan of like eye removal, because that's what it is. It's eye removal. Do you like Lana Del Rey? I do. I think she's pretty cool. I don't listen to her often. I don't listen to a lot of people that much, but I do like her work. When it comes on the radio, I'll be happy to listen to it. What horror story is your all-time favorite? There's one I narrated called this was an original submission actually. It's like A Demon's Trying to Steal My Soul. I've got a playlist called The Best of More, and it's on there. I think it's like one, maybe it's even the first one. It's a really good story. It's really fun. I got loads of narrators to help me do it. I would really if I had to recommend one video, I'd recommend that one, or maybe the there's a building. There's a building that's using up the same electricity as a small city. That one's also really fun. It's got my friend Nature's Temper in it, and he's amazing. His voice is so good. But yeah, anyway, I'd recommend those two if you had time to listen to them. Oh, Nick A had Bigfoot encounters. Send them over. I'd love to hear them. Right. Too bad nobody knows how to make a decent horror movie anymore. Let's have a look. Kelsey Watson, love your work more. I listen every night at work. Oh, thank you, Kelsey. It's very kind of you, and I'm glad that you enjoy the content. Wayne Huggins, thank you so much for your donation as well. Thank you for always making great content. Looking forward to tonight's video. Thank you, Dreary. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Dreary. Okay, please do more live streams. I'll try, Gling. I will try. Have you ever been camping? Only once, when I was in high school, I suppose, the equivalent. Secondary school in England. When I was like 13 for 4 nights. It was all right. But it wasn't like while camping just by myself. There was like loads of tents around me, so I don't know if that really counts. But it was still in a tent. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. What's your favorite Lana song? What's the title? I can't remember. I can't even remember. But I don't want to sing it because that's embarrassing. I'll have to get back to you on the name because I really don't want to sing it. Who did the shirt with you being scared and we shouldn't be here? It was designed by Yeah Man TV, and it's on Being Scared's merch store if you want to get it. I think it's really cool. More, do you like classic music? I do. I love classical music. Absolutely love it. Let's have a look. I always appreciate what you do and look forward to your post. Stay blessed and glad I made your live stream. Thank you, Emma. I want to say hi. I love your videos. Thank you, Sonia. Right. Oh, I've got some more super chats. The Dark Narrator, thank you for letting me be part of the competition. It means the world to me. You have an awesome community here. You're very lucky dude. Thank you, man. And you have your own community, and it's only going to get bigger. Stay strong and keep it up. You're doing really well, and you're winning on the polls. So well done for that too. A Demon is Trying to Steal My Soul was amazing. I was so thank you, Raven Reeds, who actually is a fan of eye removal. Eye removal surgeons? I guess not, maybe, because they want to fix eyes, don't they? Do you like heavy metal / thrash? I used to like metal a lot back in the day, but I'll still listen to it, but I can't really listen to that heavy stuff anymore. I don't like it. Like now that if I can't understand what they're saying, it's just like I just can't listen because I like listening to words. What do you think about the choice chapter choices for chapter 2 in True Darkness. I think we have some serious contenders. I think I like 2 or 3. I'd say that if either of those 3 win, I'd be very happy. Interesting to see if the other 2 win, like what direction the story will go. But yeah, like I'm generally quite happy with it. Fear Crawler, wow, thank you for your donation. You didn't have to, man, but it's very kind of you. Thank you for having me in the competition. Greatly appreciate it. You know, it's all good, bro. I'm glad that you enjoyed it and that people enjoyed listening to you. Is it weird I fall asleep to these stories? No, not from what I've heard, Kanan. I think a lot of people do. Raven reads, I get paid tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. But I also thank you for including the competition. I'm really glad that you came. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for your entries. I really enjoyed your narrations. You know, everyone in the competition did really well. It was so hard to pick. You know, originally it was only going to be 3 winners, but I was listening to it out loud with my wife and Pandora, and then we were all deciding together. Maybe not so much Pandora, and when we got down to like the last 6, my wife was like, "Oh, I can't pick only 3," and I was like, "Well, neither really." And we were like, "We're gonna have to pick 4," so we had to pick 4. It was just too difficult. But thank you everyone for joining. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Pandora's fine. She's a lot better now. She's doing this thing where she refuses to eat unless she can eat it herself. It can make it quite hard to eat sometimes. Well, her to eat, but anyway. But yeah, I bet you like you too. Yeah, not that much, you know. If you're on Twitter, hit me up. I am on Twitter. Thank you, MM. I'm sorry I didn't get the notification tonight. Oh, never mind, chicken nuggets. All right, then. Let's have a look. I got 2 shirts this weekend. Got one on now. Oh, that's awesome. Right. New merch coming. Fans of eye removal. Oh, that would be a shirt. Oh, can you just imagine if someone actually drew that? Okay, that's just creepy. Which composers do you like? Oh, wow. I was actually going to answer that. Which composer do you like in terms of classical? I really like Ludovico Einaudi. I think his work is transcendent. I think that's the best way to describe it. I also like people who write film scores. I think Hans Zimmer is one of my all-time favorite composers. I love so much of his work. And he also wrote the Ring soundtrack, which I can listen to on loop. It's just so creepy. And, you know, I like listening to creepy things. I bet you're a Doors fan. I've never heard of any Doors music. I don't know if that's going to offend people, but it's the truth. I haven't. I don't have time really that much to listen to music. I just look after my child and with my wife and do my work. Do you like Electro Swing? Oh, I do. I like Caravan Palace. I like Power of Stellar. Yeah, those are all really good things I enjoy. But again, I haven't listened to them in ages. I hardly ever listen to music. More. How long before your move? Oh, yes, that's on we leave on the 1st of May. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to have to prepare some uploads in advance for that because it's going to be a nightmare. We're already packing stuff. Hans Zimmer is fantastic. Yeah, I agree. So good. Te una omarola enorme. I don't know what that means. You've got something big? Hey, I came from Time Machine, 1943. Beethoven. Yeah, Beethoven's pretty cool. Slytherin or Gryffindor? Oh, Gryffindor. Have you ever got really scared from any of your stories? Only the ones where they, like, kidnap children? Because, you know, as a parent, that's absolutely horrifying. True horror story, moving. Yeah, I know, it's gonna suck. But there you go. It's got to be done. My favorite subject is trucker horror stories. Any of these coming out soon? I had this from someone else, actually. I'm going to tell you right now. And when it comes to not Slytherin, I did the quiz, and it was like I was the least percentage Slytherin. I was most Ravenclaw. I did it twice as well. Right, let's have a look for trucker stories. I've got the archive right here. Trucker. There are 2 stories and a bonus story. and they're medium length, so that's roughly 6 to 8 minutes of talking. Sorry, guys, it's gonna be a while. It's hard. It's hard to It's hard, really, to find them. But I'm still on the lookout, of course. When I get some, I'll put them in. Mine are abuser stories. Yeah, abuser stories are pretty rough. But no, you know what? Funny, the kidnap stories, I can't even do them anymore because YouTube just won't monetize them. When they see the word like abducted or kidnapped, they'll automatically just demonetize it. Did Pandora ever get her silver present back? Oh, the little box. Yeah, she did. The money box. Yeah, she did. She did. What type of stories do you get the most of? Let's Not Meet, but I recategorize Let's Not Meet into other things. So it's not just like, let's not meet Monday. Let's not meet Tuesday. Let's not meet all week. No. So, it's like stalkers, creepers, things that happen in particular places, like Night Shift. There's lots of them but I also use, I try and get like a mixed variety of sources, which is why, like, if you look in most of my videos in the sources, it's never all from one place. Because I think it's more likely that you guys would have heard it from other sources than other narrators. It's super dark where you are, Mortis. No, the light's on. I mean, it's dark outside. Yeah. Do you have a ghost story that you experienced yourself? No, I don't, and I wish I did. I wish I did. I want to see a ghost. Do you like any female narrators? Yeah, I think there's so much female talent in this community. I mean, of course, Raggedy Annsy and Raven Reeds, really good talents. Black Eyed Blonde, I think, is exceptional. With Lady White Rabbit, also so good. I want to work with those people, with the other two again. There are so many that I'd like to work with. The thing is, it's hard to arrange collabs, mostly because I've always got so much going on. Mortis, you have a nice soothing voice. Do you take song requests? If yes, please sing Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I don't take song requests, and unfortunately, I don't actually know this song. What's your favorite type of horror story? It's probably like, if it's a really good paranormal story, then paranormal. But if it's like a really good cryptid story, then cryptid or Skinwalker. Yeah. Laura Klinger, you certainly can. I love Black Eyed Blonde. Also Penny Dreadful Moments, but she barely narrates anymore. Zucker, be careful what you wish for. What did I wish for? You can definitely sing I Can Hear Your Vocal Range. The new movie Escape Room is great. Ooh, I love escape rooms. Favorite horror movie? It's The Ring. It still is The Ring. The Ring is great. Let's not talk about The Ring 2 or 3, though. Let's just focus on the one that was made really good with a great score. Like, we saw The Nun, and I wanted to love it, and I went in expecting to love it, and I really didn't love it. Such a shame. Like, I said on Twitter the other day, I saw Hereditary with my wife. We'd been waiting for a long time to watch it. Pandora was having her nap. It's like, right, we're going to watch Hereditary. And we saw it. And it's just like, it's so long. It's way too much build-up. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought it was good at the end. Like, it was like, oh yeah, everything kind of happens at the very end. But Hereditary, I wanted to like it. And artistically, it was a beautiful film. The scene, it was really well shot. Artistically, I loved it. But story-wise, you could have easily cut out half an hour of the film, at least. Seriously. Of course, I'm not a professional filmmaker, so it's a bit hard to have an opinion. But, well, like an opinion that matters, I suppose. But I just think they could have done it a lot better. Great idea. You sound like you're someone from Game of Thrones, but I can't tell who exactly. Well, I'm not Michael, sadly. Maybe. Oh, I would say maybe one day I'll get cast, but I guess I won't because it's over now. Do you know Silent Voices? Nope. Can't hear for. I can't wait for Tarantino's new movie. I still haven't seen his last one, actually. Is it called The Hateful Eight? Or is that something else? I still haven't seen his last one. I do like his films, though. How is Izzy feeling about me? I don't know who Izzy is, Laura. I'm going to say feeling good as an assumption. I like hiking in the woods. I've never been camping in the woods, but I think it might be pretty cool. Are you going to watch Avengers Endgame when it comes out? Yes, I can. I will. If we can get a screening where we can take Pandora too. That's what I want. All right, then. Have you seen The Descent? No, I have not. Have you ever seen a ghost? No, I have not, but I want to. Oh, well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night, mostly because the video that I'm about to upload hasn't been uploaded. And, you guys like listening to stories when you go to sleep. And what kind of person would I be if I couldn't deliver what you're expecting? The raw file is called Stalker Stories April. No prizes for who can guess what kind of stories you're getting tonight. Just going to press the little plus camera button, upload video, and I'm going to start the upload. Oh, the problem is the internet is painfully slow. Hopefully where we move to has better internet. There you go. It's uploading, so probably the quality is going to go crap now anyway. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to terminate the call, the live stream, and yeah, I'm gonna wish you all a good night for the next like 8 minutes or whatever, and the video should be out soon. So there's a video. So just wait a few minutes and you'll get your notification. Finally, it's the last little request. If you terminate the call, I'm sorry that. Anyway, hey, it's Briefcase. Yeah, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. It's been great hanging out with you guys. And yeah, if you have the time, you probably won't have the time, but if you want to open the tab and read some books like After, which I've just put in the chat, check out the book and read some of the other chapters and vote in 8 hours. I'd really appreciate that, and I think it'd be really awesome if we can build up this little book community we have going on. But anyway, for now, guys, I'm going to sign off for the next few minutes. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in 8 to 10 minutes.